All right, guys. Injuries for today. Breida will be limited. Not practicing will be Dee Ford, Kittle, and Staley. And Debo and Emmanuel will both be limited. That's all I got.
With Kittle, is that because of anything that happened in the last game, or is that just part of his routine?
Just part of it. Yeah, he definitely can't go every day with the stuff he's got.
And Robbie's good to go?
Yeah, Robbie's full.
Have you been making a roster move with Robbie ready to go?
Not right now. No.
And is that just in case something were to happen with him?
Yeah, you make roster moves if you need to, and feel pretty good with the guys we could have active. So we'll straighten out till we need to.
Is there still a chance for D on Sunday?
Yes, there is.
And how does Staley have to work on his finger maintenance-wise this week, just to?
Just that he feels comfortable enough to go out there. I mean, he's getting right to where he could be healthy enough to go, or to where at least is protected, and how he's feeling with his other stuff that's lingering from last time too. So I think he's got a chance to go tomorrow, but we'll see. Taking it day by day.
For what you guys hope to accomplish, the fact that you're playing a game that people are pointing to as one of the epic games of the season, what does that say about what you guys have accomplished here in your team?
I mean, I think it says that both teams have had a real good season so far. I think both teams are playing at a very high level. Everyone knows what both teams' records are. And I think we've got some similar styles in how we've been successful too. Playing good defense and running the ball well. And both teams being pretty efficient in the pass game. So it's exciting to be here, and I'm excited to get to the game on Sunday.
You've played some mobile quarterbacks the last few weeks, but how is Lamar different, and what sort of challenges does he?
He's just different in that he's a running back when he has the ball. You know, with the other two guys, they can make a lot of plays with their legs and stuff, but eventually they're going to slide and things like that. This guy, he is a running back out there and a quarterback when he's throwing, but he can run hard. You got to bring him down. He can take the hits, and he also can deliver them.
You had a running quarterback in 2012 in Washington. What did you find as far as the defenses that played you guys well that year, played RG3 well that year? What was the common denominator?
It was only 1 year doing that. Not many people did play it that well. I think teams hadn't seen a lot of it at that time, so teams were pretty simple 8-man fronts all the time, and which was real fun to run the zone read versus that. And it helped all our outside zone. But now, I mean, there's so much more. I mean, this isn't just zone read. I mean, this guy runs quarterback power, quarterback counter, all types of running back runs. It's not just a race to the sideline. So I don't think it's real comparable. You got to be ready for anything. I mean, he's got to be ready for a Wildcat offense, but the Wildcat guy is still a quarterback too. So that brings a lot of changes.
I know you're an offensive coach, but having Robert, was on Seattle's staff when going up against Greg Roman when he was here, is there any carryover or anything Robert can take from that?
From being with us?
No, from being with Seattle going against Greg Roman.
Oh, sorry, Robert Saleh. Yeah, I mean, I think Robert carries over what he's done. I mean, all the buildings he's been in. I mean, you got to know a lot of football to put together plans to stop unique stuff, and there's no easy way to do it. I mean, They involve one more guy in the running game than defenses are used to. So that causes a lot of problems for any team week in and week out. And you got to be able to make some adjustments. And Robert, with his experience and stuff and how he works at it, the way he ties our scheme together, he's more than capable of doing it.
When you talk about all those different things that Lamar Jackson does and the Ravens do, is that why defenses haven't caught up to what they're doing?
I don't think it necessarily is catching up, just like I didn't think it was. The defense never caught up with the zone read either. It's not a trick play. It puts guys in a bind. It makes teams play 11-on-11 football. So you got to decide whether you want to play 11-on-11 or if you want to keep things the same and play 10-on-11. Most people, usually the quarterback makes you pay if you play 10-on-11 when you have these type of quarterbacks. So you do got to change some stuff up, and then that's what else does that open up, and how good are you at that? Eventually you can take stuff away, and then you got to balance it out and see what holes that opened up because they take it away. And I think that'll be that way till the end of time. I mean, no one catches up with the stuff. It's not a gimmick play. It's a very sound way to run an offense, and they're doing it at a very high level right now.
You talked in the past why you prefer pocket passers, when you can run, don't develop necessarily reading coverages and everything. Obviously, Lamar seems to be taking some steps in the second season. What have you seen from him? Are you impressed with that jump just as throwing from the pocket?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm impressed with how unbelievable he's been in the run game. That starts with it. And if you are that generational type of runner, then you're going to get some better passes too. And he's been more than good at doing well in those situations. I mean, the way he's thrown, he's gotten it to the right guys. And if the looks aren't there right away, I mean, he's been unbelievable turning it into a run, just like you see Russell do a number of times. But he's going to get better as everyone does with the reps and more looks that they have throwing the ball more in the league. But when you're as special as he is running the ball, you can be a lot more patient with that because his looks aren't going to be quite the same because of how much he scares everyone in every other play.
Playoffs last year, another Charger strategy was using a lot of DBs. Has Mark Ingram kind of made that a worse strategy just because he's a big kind of power back?
Yeah, and just all their personnel. I mean, the way their O-line's built, the running backs they've chose, their tight ends are unbelievable. They are a very downhill team, not starting with Ingram, but going to their fullback, to their tight ends, to their guards, to everyone. So they're built to go downhill at you, and they have a quarterback who can outflank you at any time.
Coach, Mitch Wisnowski looked to get you out of some tough spots toward the back of the end zone on Sunday. How have you seen his progression this season, and how important is he to the team?
Oh, Mitch has been huge. I mean, that's why we spent a high draft pick on him to get him here. He's been exactly what we hoped for, if not better. And I think he's getting better as the year goes. So it'll be a big one here this Sunday because going against a running team like this, field position is a big deal.
So you think his importance will grow as you get toward the playoffs and deeper into the season?
Everybody's does. I mean, it's more important each week as we get here, but the better teams you play, the better your special teams better be.
What are the hallmarks of the Ravens' defense?
I mean, for a while, I mean, they attack. They try to get after you every play. You got to be ready for anything. You see stuff week in and week out from them on tape that you haven't seen for a while. They can play coverage. They can do crazy blitzes. They can play any personnel grouping. So it's usually some controlled chaos by them, and it's a lot of feast or famine. So your players got to be ready when you're going to have some really bad looks, and when you do have the right look, you got to capitalize on it.
Lamar threw for, I think, 15 times on Monday night, and 5 went for touchdowns. What does that say about their efficiency?
Says that's pretty good. I mean, if he had an incompletion, he probably could do a little bit better, but if he didn't, that sounds about perfect. So that's what I mean. You got to commit a lot of stuff to stop this run game, to not get embarrassed by it. And he's making guys pay in the pass game when teams do that.
Has Kyle Juszczyk exceeded your expectations from when you guys have gotten him out of Baltimore? What does he mean?
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, we wanted him pretty bad. I think everyone knows that. But what we did to go out and get him, so. Yeah, I'd say he exceeded expectations because you don't know the guy totally, and he's been here. And after being with him for 3 years, we can tell now why we liked him so much on tape because he is very talented. But just how automatic he is and all the stuff you ask him to do, just the angles of getting to backers, and nothing seems too big for him. And some of the catches he's made in the pass game, even though he doesn't get a lot of them, when he does, he's been real efficient with it and made some big plays for us.
Some plays with him where it looks like the run will go one direction and he peels off the other direction. Is that by design, or is that him recognizing what's happening and sort of freelancing as the play develops?
No, I mean, it's usually by design. We try to tie a lot of that stuff together, and but he's the best at it. You can't tell where his eyes are going. He doesn't show anyone till the last second, and he's also fluid enough to be able to do that stuff.
You have a lot of different factors kind of going to Baltimore. You've got weather, probably temperature, and the East Coast time difference. How do you manage all of those?
I mean, I think we've done a number of those situations this year, and I think we've been, at least we've had some success in them unlike the last 2 years. So I think that helps guys just knowing that we've done that, and just our team. It doesn't matter the situation. You always tried to say that, but it's truly became a reality this year, whether it's been injuries or where we've played or what time we've played. I feel we've always gotten our team's best shot, and I do understand the challenges of going to the East Coast, but fortunately, they also got a little bit of a late start because they played a Monday night game on the West Coast. So everyone has some tough situations, and I know theirs is just as tough as ours.
With the weather, it looks like right now there's a decent chance of it raining. Do you factor that in at this point in the week?
Yeah, just because there's a pretty good chance of it, so I'm definitely more aware of it right now than I usually would be at this time. Yeah, but I have a feeling they're going to run the ball, whether it's raining or not. So I don't know how much it's going to change.
What are you going to do, Kyle?
Try to stop the run.
Couple more?
Kyle, having been home, or at least in this time zone, to Jennifer's questions, and the holiday as well, how do you continue to keep the guys just hyper-focused on making sure they're prepared for this travel, especially 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah, I mean, you address it, you talk about it, so they're aware of it. But I mean, you can talk all you want. Guys really got to live it and believe it. And like I've said all year, I think we got a real good group of guys, so I don't worry about them too much. I think it's actually nicer probably going out of town on Thanksgiving because everyone's got to deal with Thanksgiving. But I think the harder thing for players is all the family members and the uncles and everyone who's bored Friday night, waiting for you to come back home, and then Saturday trying to hang out with you, trying to keep you up and play cards and enjoy their vacation on their time off. They don't realize that you got a big game. So it's a lot of pressure, I think, for some of these guys. So I think it's kind of nice that we can get them out of here Friday.
How much different is this locker room than the locker rooms you've been around?
It's real different. I mean, every team's different each year, but I mean, we got a real special group of guys. I know I keep saying that. I felt that way last year, just with what we were going through and how many losses we had in the season we had, and just the way guys didn't really turn on each other. And then just to add a new group of guys this year with the same guys that were here, they've fit in perfect right away, and I think they've even made us stronger. So it's been a special group all year.
How do you manage it with like the families? Can families meet you guys in Florida, or is that off limits to
I
families?
mean, I can't tell people's families where they can't go, but I mean, we just don't have a lot of time out there. So it's a long place to go to not see guys. I mean, we're done with our meetings. Oh, you're saying in Florida the following week?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they could see him on Monday and Tuesday, especially Tuesday, the player off day. And but no, I try to get guys to get away. But if they come, it's not like I can stop them. But they won't be allowed in our hotel, on our floor with the players.
That's next week.
Is that it?
All right.
All right, guys.